I did not have a coach. I don't know exactly how long, but it was definitely like a year when I started. That was tough. My bank account was ripped. A chef doesn't make a lot of money. In the Netherlands, maybe 2K a month. You work like 60 to 70 hours a week. If you focus on 10 things at a time, you'll get 10% of the results. But if you focus all your attention on this one thing, you'll get 100% of the results that you're looking for. I was in debt, but I'm very happy that it happened because that was when I really went with my back against the wall and there was no way back. This is it. If I don't make this work, then I'm fucked. That was a turning point for me. It was like, now I need to make this to work and I'm going to dedicate like every single minute of my day to absolutely make it work.
Hey guys, Alex Fedotoff here. Today we have an awesome conversation with Jeremy Leppink. He's e-commerce entrepreneur, scaled his business to 300K per month. And also now he's helping our community inside of the ESS, e-commerce scaling secrets. This is where we work with e-commerce entrepreneurs and helping to grow their businesses. And we're here at Elite Mastermind. We just met with 100 of our clients and, just learning from everyone, trying to level up and, exchange insights. Thank you so much for joining me, Jeremy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a great event. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, we've met some people that, we've just been seeing, like numbers and everything. Now we've met them in person and I think there's many insights that we can take from every one of those.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, this was absolutely amazing. Like there should be no reason for you not to come to events like this. It's like, even if it's not this event, just going to events and networking with people, that will help your business like scale like crazy.
For sure.
If you meet the right people, of course.
For sure. So how you started your journey in e-commerce?
So before I went into e-commerce, I was a chef for 8 years. I started at age of 14. So it was like very early. Started working in the kitchen, just a helping hand, nothing like really special. Went to cooking school and then, I worked in like 4 different restaurants. Managed people, so I guess a little bit of leadership skills is what I got there as well. And now sometimes also how to be, strict with people
and scream a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of screaming, like Gordon Ramsay style, So that was pretty nice. But since I was like very little, like crazy young, 5 years old, I was already like telling my mom like, later I'm not going to work for a boss. I'm going to do my own thing. There's no way. And even back then, like when I was like 5 years old, I was already telling that I'm like probably going to live in a different country. So I was super young. Probably just something that was like running through my veins or something. And when I was 21, that's when I started. I did not have a coach for I don't know exactly how long, but it was definitely like a year when I started, and that was tough. Like my bank account was like ripped. Like a chef doesn't make a lot of money. It's like in the Netherlands, like maybe 2K a month.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. And you work like 60 to 70 hours a week. So it's crazy. Also like pretty harsh environments kind of stuff. It's like super hot in the kitchen. Like in the summer, it gets like 45 degrees.
Wow.
So I didn't have much saved up. It was like 10K. And that was gone within like 2 months. I know on my first ever campaign, I run a PPE campaign and I spent like 3K on it, hoping for sales. And I wasn't getting nothing. It was absolutely crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So you were just like learning from like wrong sources?
Yeah, just YouTube. YouTube. Yeah. We had a guy in the Netherlands. He has a course, and I saw his ads like a couple times. That's why I got interested in e-commerce. And so I was like, well, I'll just do it myself. This doesn't look too hard, So that was a big mistake. Big mistake.
Wow. And so you lost all of your money?
Oh yeah, and more.
Oh.
More. Yeah, I was in debt. Yeah. And but I'm very happy that it happened. That I was like deep in debt, because that was like when I really went with my back against the wall, right? And there was no way back. So when I was at that point, I was like, well, this is it. If I don't make this work, then I'm fucked. It's like super bad, right? That was a turning point for me. It was like, now I need to make this to work, and I'm going to dedicate like every single minute of my day to absolutely make it work. So we just got like a rental house. My girlfriend, she was in a burnout, so almost no income. I just quit my job as a chef, and yeah, that was like probably the deepest point in my business. Yeah, that was not good. But yeah, after that, like when I actually got a coach, that's when things started to like level out. I was not making like a ton of money, but it started leveling out. Yeah, when we started to make a little bit of money, I was kind of like in a general dropshipping approach. Things started to work out for me. I made a big mistake again because we were doing maybe like 70K a month with like profits was decent, saved up like 30 or 40K. And I started chilling, went on holidays, popped a bottle of champagne and that kind of stuff. Stupid. And within like a month or 2 months, I lost everything again. And things were going back down again. So that was again like a very big lesson. And
how old you were at this point?
22. Close to 23. Yeah. Probably like 2 years in business. Yeah. We went to Aruba with friends and we didn't work at all like for a month. And I lost like everything again. And that summer was rough as well. Went back into debt actually. That was like a turning point. Okay, there's no way that I just make something work, get a couple team members on it, make sure that they're doing their output. Never speaking to them like on a weekly meeting or anything, and then just hoping that it will work out. It was a very big mistake.
And I think it's such a good point and such a good lesson for people listening can learn from your mistakes. They don't have to do that mistake themselves.
Yeah.
That there's this concept of like passive income, and people think that they start an e-commerce business and then if it works you can just like let it run without like any supervision, without accountability, without any leadership to your team. So even if you have a team, you still have to be a leader. You still have to be present. You still have to give feedback and coach your team members.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a big lesson so if you're looking for passive income, unless you're like Warren Buffett, you probably it's not, especially like if you're starting out, like people want that like very fast. If you have like substantial amount of capital and you invest in something like very stable, like real estate or some stocks with very solid foundations, then it's possible. But it's it takes time to get there, and initially it's a grind. Like building a business, initially it's a grind.
Yeah, and in the Dutch community, doing like at that point, so that was like 2022 or something. At that point, doing 70K a month, that was like a lot in the Netherlands. Those were like good numbers. It was like we were behind on USA, very behind. So yeah, like was literally feeling like you were balling at that point. But you were really not actually when you look back on it. It is good, and we learned a lot of skills. But we also made a lot of mistakes. I would say one of the biggest mistakes, or one of the things that I see a lot, is that when people start doing well from day one, they don't have that super bad experience in business yet, where they're like, okay, now I can't like slack. You need to have that deep point in your life, in your business, I guess, to really find that drive, or that at least for me. So need to find that drive to like making sure that you keep on doing the work and starting to get the results that you want. Like don't slack.
Yeah, pain is the greatest teacher.
Yeah, and we talked about it, right? This is good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we've had conversation like a few hours ago with Simone, one of our clients. I mean, he's also in Dubai. Very sharp entrepreneur, and he's very hands-on with his business. Even though last month he did like 5.7 million months.
That's good.
It's very solid, but still very hands-on. With his business. Calls, keeping his team accountable. Seeing what can be optimized in the business, constantly looking about the next steps, next products, to develop, and just constantly innovate and never take the foot off the gas.
Yep. Yeah, it's super good. 5.7 million, you said last month. Yeah, super good. It's nice.
Yeah, when he joined, we had a conversation with him like maybe 2 years ago when he just joined our community. He was doing like 500 a month. Like 2 years ago probably. Yeah, he just been growing exponentially from there.
Fast. That's also something. So before I started e-commerce, people were like, if you want to make a business, like a business not online, for example, like if you want to open a restaurant, it will take you at least 5 years before you actually start making like a little bit of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like the bare minimum. So you will be in debt.
Is that true?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what the restaurant owners were telling me. Like every single one of them, it takes you at least 5 years if you want to gain anything.
Why would you do it?
You're right. So like earlier, I was like, I'm going to start my own restaurant, and that's when they started telling me that stuff. I'm like, no way. In e-commerce, we see people like in month 2 that are already like growing like crazy. It's insane.
Yeah,
it's like really good opportunity for people right now.
For sure. And like, so, I mean, you're working with dozens of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Like seeing, the ones that are just taking off, and the ones that are, struggling. So, or at least like it takes them like a lot of time to get that momentum, given the exact same resources, right? So everyone has the same resources.
Yeah.
And then you see some people just like, whew, and some people just like, it's very slow kind of growth. So what do you think is the difference between those entrepreneurs?
I would say, if I were to sum it up, it's speed and accuracy of implementation. So let's say if someone like does, for example, product research, someone that's just starting out, sometimes they will come back after like maybe like a day with 10 products, and they're like super bad. They didn't put in any research. They just want to move fast and like not really put in the work, or not the work that they should put in. And then it doesn't work. And you have people that come back with a list after like 2 weeks with decent products. Still not great, but they just like really overthink it, and just takes way too long. So before they have like the first product live, takes like 2 months, which they can do like in 3 weeks, right? They should. I would say like with the most successful students, it is speed and accuracy of implementation. I would say that's like, to sum it up, that's the best explanation.
So it's moving fast, but also making sure that you don't just like looking for not just looking for shortcut.
Exactly. Yeah, like you need to put in the work. You need to study. You need to find the resources. It's not just like doing it by the book. You really need to like think outside of the box sometimes, not just like copying everyone. It's you need to be a little bit creative as well. And you need to be fast.
Yeah, like even Mark, who was speaking here at the event, right? Like how many people are copying his funnels?
Yeah,
and everything like just like one-to-one, like without even like thinking,
Right, and if they're not doing that now, they probably did it like somewhere in the past. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody did that.
Yeah, it's fascinating. But initially it's like you don't know what you're doing. You might copy, right? But then it's just if you start getting momentum, makes sense to just like reevaluate, how do I make my business differentiated from other people?
Yes.
How to improve the product? How to improve my marketing? How to improve like other things in my funnel, in my marketing, or on the website, to look differentiated, because it's if everyone is doing the same thing, everyone will get the same results.
Yeah, exactly. And also what I see with students in a lot of calls is if I tell them to model something, they copy it. But copying and modeling are two completely different things. So I did model it, like, and you see like the copy didn't change like a single word, right? And I think modeling is very powerful, definitely if you don't have the knowledge yet to like build something yourself, which is tough. You have to be very creative and kind of stuff. You have to do a lot of research. I would say that's also something super important. Modeling doesn't really mean to copy someone, but give it like your own twist, right? Like look at the structure. For example, if you break down an advertorial, like lead, authority, discredit, that kind of stuff, don't like copy the whole lead, like treat it as a lead, but write your own, right? A lot of people copy and then you see it doesn't work. That's what Mark was talking about as well. Like, it's the same thing, yeah.
Do you like to use any like AI tools in your writing process?
ChatGPT. Yeah, definitely. It's a big game changer. Right now, when I look back, like if you look back at 5 years ago, where we didn't have the AI tools, if that would have like go away right now, it will be a struggle again to do this stuff again. ChatGPT really changed the whole scenery. Absolutely, and the AI tools, of course.
So you got the business back to your story. Like, so you got the business to $70,000 a month. You got it back kind of like burn it into the ground.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Yeah. So after that, like I started to get dedicated again. That was in August. I fired everyone on my team. And I just started doing it by myself again because the expenses were way too high and I couldn't manage it. So within that same month, just putting in the dedication, I was already doing again 60K a month within a month. So that was like super fast. And I was really happy with the results. We're doing good money. And that's when I started building a team again. And this is a general dropshipping approach still. So at some point we had 14 people, 14. So we had a lot of output. I was still making some of the mistakes that I were making before, but definitely improved a lot. We were testing 75 products a week over 7 different countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was, we had stores with
What was the success rate?
Oh, it was low, like 1 in 150.
Oh.
Yes, super bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if you're testing 75 products a week and you say you're doing like 200 to 300K in revenue a month, that sounds like super bad in my eyes.
Yeah.
If I'm testing like 300 products a month, I shouldn't be doing only like 1K per product on average. It's super low. But yeah, the team expenses were high. The output was good and everybody was hitting their KPIs. So that was kind of good. But the margins were so low and I didn't really like the business model just because it was like a production center almost. Yeah. And also I didn't really have the feeling I was actually building a business. It was just like pushing as much product. We're just ripping content from Facebook. Like we didn't make our own creatives. It worked up till an extent, but if we would scale up the output, the revenue wouldn't grow with it. Or it would like a little bit, but the profits will take a tank. And that's when I started to kind of look at e-com differently. I was already looking at your YouTube channel, and I liked the idea about how to market stuff differently, about the branding and all that kind of stuff. And that's when I hopped on the call and we were talking about what my visions were and where I want to go within the next couple of years. And I was building a brand, getting my own thing, like really building on something. Also for like, that was like way better also for my motivation back then. And that's when I joined ESS as a student. And I remember it was a Tuesday. I was onboarded on Monday and it was a Tuesday and I was on the CRO call with Alex Yusuf. And we're looking at my business. I still had the 14 employees. We're still doing the same output, 75 products a week. And I explained everything. And in the end of the call, he just said, yeah, so what we're going to be doing now is you'll just fire your whole team and then we'll start over. And when I invest in something like a mentorship, I go all in. I'm not going to second guess or think too much about it. So within 24 hours, everyone was gone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're all freelancers. And yeah, this might sound a little bit harsh, but I mean, it's also business, right? And that's when I started to get into the ESS tactics, funnel building, advertorials, VSLs, all that kind of stuff. And the first product, like within a week, was already doing 2K a day. Was going pretty well. Then we had like a couple rough months. That product was a normal product. I mean, not even going like it was a copy, and that worked, but only for a very small time. We tested about 7 more funnels after that, and this was my mistake, copying. I was like copying, not modeling. Copying is something I learned over those months, and it was not working at all. And then in December, that was December last year, I started to research into a different product and deep research. I did like 2 weeks of like full-on research. No building, was just writing Google Docs. And this was not organized at all. It was like just typing my thoughts, typing everything that I could find. And that taught me a lot about how to actually market a product. So we found a product, we found a niche, and we just launched it like a very simple funnel with very simple image ads, but the copy was kind of good. Was a little bit more unique, and that just like was profitable from day one.
Oh, nice!
And it was like a very bad funnel. Like it looked very bad, but the copy was good and the offer was good. So we're like, okay, this is interesting. It was like a cost-efficient test, kind of. And that's when we started building a VSLs and more advertorials. And we made a very nice looking funnel. We got branding for the packaging and all that kind of stuff. And with that first VSL, it took off. Like it went fast. Within like 3 weeks, we're up to like 5K a day already.
Oh, nice.
With super high margins. We was 4.8 on average. Wow. Yeah, it was super good. It was in Germany, German market. And the 1st of January, I switched my business to Dubai. So from the Dutch business to Dubai. And because we scaled that business so quickly from like start to within like 3 weeks, they banned everything on a new company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we tried a lot. So that was tough. We have a lot of different companies in different countries. It's like, you have no presence and the product and blah 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 blah. And they were not amused with the new brand and how fast we scaled it. They just saw it as kind of like a scheme. We had to get rid of it. It like hindsight, I should have sold it. Probably because it had like super big potential. We had a whole 2024 roadmap, and it was looking very promising. So at the end of 2024, the goal was to do $1 million a month, and that would have been insane for me, at least, growing a business in 12 months from 0 to $1 million a month. And I was very confident that we were able to hit that. Very, very confident. Yeah, now we're here.
Yeah,
now we're here. We have now something different running. But
when it comes to the payment processing issues, like what are the most common things that you see entrepreneurs having, like when it comes to payment processing, holds and stuff like that? And what are the biggest mistakes you think people are making when it comes to that?
So I think before 2023, 2022, payment processing didn't really have much issues, like way less as this year. This year, what I'm seeing and what I like kind of found out with a lot of people that I work with is that selling cross-border with a company that you have no presence in the country that you registered your company in, is a big red flag. They don't like that. It is okay if you already have an established business that you were running for like a year and you're doing like good numbers. Then you can kind of make a switch and show them like the books or like a track record, then it's okay. They will still work with you. But if like in my case, I had a business for 3 weeks, right? So it was like super short, no track record at all.
And also like
and it's super fast. And then going to a company, having no presence in that country where the company was registered, and I was selling cross border, that just like completely shut it down.
Oh, wow.
So I would say that's the biggest red flag if you have like a new business selling cross-border.
So in that case, for people listening, let's say you have, which payment processors this applies to? Like Stripe, PayPal, like...
Stripe, PayPal, Shopify Payments. Yeah, Klarna.
Interesting. So you should be selling first in the country where that business is registered?
Yeah, I think that's minimizing your risk. So even if you, for example, live in Europe and you open an LLC, if you sell in the US, you should be good. That shouldn't be the issue. But I've opened so many companies that I'm probably blacklisted.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I've also opened a company in the country where I was selling in, and that didn't work. But probably like that shouldn't happen to anyone else. That's just me being blacklisted, probably.
Got it. And so when it comes to clients and seeing what kind of countries are working for them, like what do you see in terms of the countries with a high potential?
I would say that depends a lot on the product that you're selling. I don't really believe in the word saturation in some form. It's not like 9 out of 10 times not really your product that's saturated, but your angle, in my opinion. I would say the markets that I really like now is definitely like European markets are good. German market, I love the German market. It's quite easy to market something there, and still the cost of advertising is pretty low, and it's still like there's like 50 or 80 million people in Germany. But I also love the US. I love it. It's such a big market, and you could be quite aggressive in your advertising when it comes to the US. If you do aggressive advertising in the EU, it doesn't work at all. If you make claims.
We talked about this. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it doesn't work at all.
It's like even, VSLs, if you do VSLs in Germany versus like in US,
It's completely different.
wow.
Yeah, if you would test the US VSL in Germany, it's not working at all.
Wow.
And the other way around as well.
And how about like advertorials and product pages formats? Like what's working the best in Europe?
They're both working. So advertorials, listicles work really good. I like listicles. But we made it work with advertorials as well. But again, you can't have that aggressiveness as a lot of people have in the US. You need to have like a way more mild version. And also, people in EU, they don't believe US easy.
Oh, they're more skeptical.
Yeah, you need to back it up. You need to have like good authority. Very good authority. You can't just pick someone from the street, put on a lab coat and say he's a doctor. That doesn't work. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's there's these doctors on Fiverr that
Right.
probably everyone has used at this point.
There you go.
Yeah, they're like overused. So health and beauty is still your favorite niche?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when it comes to like other markets like COD, kind of like Mexico, like South America, do you see potential in those markets?
Oh, big potential. Big potential. So I have never done cash on delivery ever, but it is very interesting to me because it that kind of, to me, I see people doing it. It really looks like a new blue ocean. And people they don't know what e-commerce is or something, like the buyers, right? The consumers. It's crazy. I see people launching products and I'm like, we could do things so much better, but they're selling like crazy at super high ROASs. And then when I talk about them about refusal rates and that kind of stuff, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not for everyone. But if you kind of know what you're doing and you can put it together a little bit, then yeah, the refusal rates are not bad at all.
Yes.
See people with like 91% acceptance rate or something. It's pretty good.
91%. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, CPMs are like $3-5 in those markets.
Yeah. You get like 10 cents CPC.
Wow. Those are interesting. We have clients. We have
yes. He was also a BBA student.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took off for him like very quickly in these markets. Very quickly.
So would you go in those markets like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not personally doing it right now, but I would recommend it. Absolutely. Sure. Yeah, I see very good potential there.
What are the with Klarna ideal like these kind of processors? Obviously, a lot of them have been, I know there's a big community of no shippers.
Yeah.
That kind of like abuse these platforms, and so they became like extremely sensitive. If they find out that you're dropshipping, they're more likely to shut down your account.
Yeah.
And do you see the same kind of situation with like Klarna? So besides Stripe that is sensitive, is Klarna an ideal, and all of these other things in Europe also very sensitive?
I would say with Shopify payments, it is pretty good. Klarna definitely not, unless you're from Sweden, because then you can like enable Klarna on Shopify payments, and I don't really see a lot of issues. That people have a lot of issues. But if you want to apply for Klarna with a new business right now and you're dropshipping, there's like very little chance that you're getting in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very little chance.
So you mentioned in terms of people that are getting results versus people that are just, not getting there as fast. It's just speed of implementation, just focusing on the right things.
Yes.
And what other things would you say are kind of like most common denominator?
Focusing on one thing at a time. So being very unorganized. So let's say if you have, for example, like a bad conversion rate, and you know that your copy is not making sense, just like focus all your attention at your copywriting, for example. Like dive deep into that one thing and start mastering that thing. And then once you have that mastered, go to the next thing. Don't try and like implement everything. Then the end product will not be good. I always say like if you focus on 10 things at a time, you'll get 10% of the results. In each department, kind of. But if you focus all your attention on this one thing, you'll get 100% of the results that you're looking for.
Interesting. That's a good feedback for people, because the information is there, right? And all the resources are there, all the tools. It's just what people do with that information that makes a difference.
Yes. Yes, and also it's just like not organized and overthinking stuff. So when it comes again, like back to the speed of implementation, they'll get a lot of information and they'll think about it. And they'll think about it and they'll think about it and they'll think about it, but they do nothing, right? It's like weeks go past and they're still thinking about it, and it's not nothing is happening.
For sure. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
It was a great conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Jeremy is inside of ESS program. So yeah, if you want to connect with him, just book a call. We'll see if we can get you inside and have you working with Jeremy. He's a savage, helps so many businesses grow. I see you posting, like we have this channel with all of our success stories, and Jeremy's working with everyone directly. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, my man.